So what's next? What's next is, it was an R word. What the hell is that R word? Not reflecting. I guess it's sort of reflecting, but it's, let's just say that it's accepting the diagnosis. It's deciding what information you share with people and how and when you share it. Because in my experience, even just with this channel alone, is that it seems as if I'm able to have conversation or dialogue with individuals, but the minute my autism diagnosis comes into play, or me revealing or just being known that I'm autistic, then there's some infantilizing it. It's treating me basically like I'm not a damn grown ass man. Basically, it's oh, poor little tink, he don't know no better. That's annoying. That's annoying because it's like, without you knowing that, then you'll go toe to toe and we can have a debate, if you will. But then you'll ignore me, or you won't give me the same type of courtesy of proving me wrong or right or whatever as you would someone else that you assume to be neurotypical. It's adjusting and learning yourself, I guess, all over again. It's really accepting. I think that that might be the takeaway from this. It might just be accepting your autism diagnosis. Then there's the imposter syndrome feeling, well, I made it this far and no one else has said anything to me. But also knowing the many hours of research I did to be certain that it wasn't NPD, BPD, none of those fit, even the assessments. But ASD was scored high on every single one. Adding to that, knowing that one said I wasn't and another said I was, showing that two in the same field with decades of practice still have no foolproof way of determining it in adults, unless you have a child diagnosed, and then they'll all of a sudden see it. I know myself, and I know when I'm overwhelmed, so it's important for me to not make myself feel obligated to be in environments that I would before make myself tolerate. It's like, I'd rather do family time one-on-one with individuals versus the big holidays, and now I don't pressure myself into attending those. Before, I would just go and I would prepare myself for the hangover afterwards, the hangout hangover, as I call them, because I knew that the anxiety would build and that I'd worry myself about going, and I'd still go just because I wouldn't want to be bombarded with, oh, why didn't you come, and we missed you. And so I go and make myself feel uncomfortable. But now I don't do it because I know my sensitivity to sounds. I know my need for something familiar, something that I can depend on. And I guess we call those comfort foods, but it's not about the way the food feels or tastes. It's that I know that I can rely on chicken and rice to taste like chicken and rice. It's understanding that the reason why I get frustrated and I get flustered with change and when things don't go according to plan is because it takes so much energy to get to that place of, all right, this is the day, we've got this appointment, we're going to the doctor, we got to get out of the house, we're doing this. And then the doctor reschedules. And you're like, but I was planning for this all week. I knew on Friday I was doing this. And then on Friday, they can't make it because, it's the summertime and nobody likes to be in the office in the summer. I'm married, so it was about adjusting our expectations from one another. It was about adjusting our relationship before this change. It was showing up in the capacity that I know I can show up. I can give you one example, and it goes back to my routine. I've always made coffee for my husband. It's one of those things that I have to do. Even if I'm not feeling well, I have to get up and I have to make coffee because my body is on a certain rhythmic clock to where I'm always up at the same time every morning. Doesn't matter what time zone. It knows that it is that time where we are. So naturally, I'm going out of the bed first. I make the coffee. If for whatever reason he has to get up before me and he makes a coffee, it throws my day off. It throws my day off in the sense to where, and some of you may not understand this and some of you may get it, but it throws my day off to where, did I brush my teeth? When I showered, did I just stand in the shower or did I really shower? I washed my face, but did I wash my hair? Well, I don't have hair, but did I get behind my ears? It's all these things that I normally don't have to question because we do this first. And then we do that second. And so since you have a systematic way of doing things.
Systematic? What's systematic mean? Kind of like how we hang the sheets and we hang them first so we can put the socks in the crack.
As long as your system is still in place, you don't have to double check if the door is locked when you leave. You don't have to make sure that your phone is in your right pocket because you always put your phone in your right pocket. It's when you do things out of order that throw things off for a person like me.
Every single one of these songs is about me first.
And I want to keep that in mind as well, is that anything that I talk about, I'm talking about my experiences. And I appreciate those of you who have reached out because you are able to relate to them, regardless of your race, nationality, or gender identity. I appreciate that. But I just want you to understand that I'm not trying to speak for all. For those, as I say, those who get it, get it. It's also accepting the fact that I'm going to be misunderstood. That doesn't make it any less frustrating, but I accept the fact that I understand I'm going to be misunderstood. Another example, somebody's going to think I'm saying that only autistic people are misunderstood. It's allowing myself to stem. What I'm trying to do is to take away the stigma with ASD in my personal life, with the interactions that I have when I have them, based on my limited interaction with people because I don't really leave the house these days. If things are good when I go outside, then I'm more likely to go back outside. If things are kind of rough, I need some time inside. And sometimes I just really enjoy my own company. I enjoy the company of my husband. I enjoy our atmosphere outside of the noisy as neighbors who think that it's okay to put your speaker inside the window and aim it outside because the rest of us want to hear that, right? It's accepting the fact that I'm doing this. I'm giving you this long ass answer, but I'm trying to help you to understand that there really is no wrong way to eat a Reese's. No, there really is no one answer of what's next. It's just trying to show up in the world the way that I am. And what I mean by that is when I get fidgety or when I get really anxious, I will do what I'm going to call a rock bounce. Is where I'm rocking back and forth from side to side, not front to back. I'm kind of bouncing on one foot's toe to the other foot's tippy toes. And I realize now that it's not anything that I should be ashamed of or be embarrassed about because it's just me getting that excess energy out in a way that does not come out with frustration and anger. I realize that I work out twice a day because it helps me get out some of that frustration and anger from being misunderstood. It helps me get out the wanting to yell because of the noise of wanting to just feeling so frustrated, feeling so trapped when you live in a city that is so loud. You just want to be in the country somewhere. But I love city life. I just hate city people.
Yeah, and they got city money and city lifestyles.
Shitty money, shitty lifestyles? And they'll move here and bring their shitty families?
I hate the inconveniences of the loudness of the city, but I love the convenience of being in the city and being able to access things. There's that conundrum of feeling like a prisoner in my own home sometimes because I don't want to go outside to be around the people that I live around. Again, I appreciate y'all who allow me to just rant and go on like this. But again, the reason for this is because I leave long ass comments. When I tell stories, when I'm talking about something, I go all the way around the world to get back to where I was going. And I'm just becoming comfortable with that. I laugh at myself because of how many turns I take just for me to say that what's next is to just live and be me. Nothing profound, just be me and to accept me and to know that with or without a diagnosis, this is who I am. So why did it take for me to stop looking for a reason? I guess is because, you know what? Even when I thought I was going to wrap this up, I've always been that kid that got in trouble because of the why. And I don't think that my parents or the adults in my life were equipped with being able to handle somebody that their answer, they could never get to the root of the why that was satisfactory enough for me. So it's accepting that that's just a trait of mine, that some things I'll never understand why, but I will always question them. And understanding that sometimes those questions will be seen as back talk by people from a certain generation, or they will be seen as disrespect from people who feel as though they have some type of authority. It's just literally me needing to know the why. You want this from me, but why? If it makes sense, sure, I'll oblige. But if it doesn't make sense, I have a problem and I'm going to question it until you can peel back the onion and make it make sense. And that's just where we are today. If you've enjoyed this, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe.
Feel confined.
I swear for God is my name.
Bounce on this shit, no.